Nice work. Finally, LED blinking. Good. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial, I am going to show you how to configure Europe track simulation with the Arduino. I divided this tutorial to three parts. First of all, we need to download some file and application. Second, we need to configure Europe track simulation 2, and then we need to program our Arduino to communicate with the ETS. The file and program that we need all are available in a link description below. Then you can download them and follow this tutorial. First and the most important file that we need is from the SCS software. We need to download the SDK telemetry files. Depend to your version of Europe Track Simulator, you need to download version 0.10 or 0.11. If you have a newer version of the Europe Track Simulation, you need to download the 1.11. For me, because I use of the Europe Track Simulation version 1.36, I will download the 1.11 SDK file. Second file that we need is come from the Silas Parker. Silas Parker create and develop some softwares and some C# codes that going to communicate with the Europe Track Simulation and also SDK from the SCS and create the DLL file. For downloading, we need to download from the Mega website, and when you download it, you download this zip file. The software application we need is Arduino Software. You can download it from the Arduino website. Just you go to the downloads and you download the IDE and then install it on your computer. The next files that is optional, it is not compulsory. I just want to show you what type of the data Europe Track Simulation going to provide. You can download it from the GitHub, and the folder with the ETS2 clients/C# is the most important for us because inside it has some example and demo of the SDK from the SCS. Last but not least, you need to download the Visual Studio, or you need to download the tools for the Visual Studio. But based on my experience, is easiest way you download the one of the Visual Studio completely from here, and you just install it on your computer, and it's going to compile for us the file that we need. If you are going to download the Visual Studio's tools, then you need to configure for yourself manually, and if you don't have enough knowledge about how to configure it, is make the problem for you. So the easiest way is that you download the Visual Studio and install it on your computer. For the Visual Studio installation, they have a lot of tutorials on the internet. It's easy to find. You can follow the tutorials and install the Visual Studios. I already installed the Visual Studio and the Arduino IDE. During the installation of the Visual Studio, you need to check mark the C# and C++ compiler that is going to install on your computer. After installation of the Visual Studio, you will see the one app, they call it Cross Tools Command Prompt for Visual Studio. This is a command line for the Visual Studio to compile the C# or C++ files. For the starting, I already download all the files as I mentioned. I start with the example that I want to show you. When I'm going to ETS SDK plugin master, when I click and go inside the ETS2 client, then inside the C#, then inside the demo folder, you will see it has a one file, C# project or CS project. If I double click on that one, it's going to open the Visual Studio for me. This is a demo from the SCS company. You will see the demo is here. Just I need to start this program. When I press the start, it's going to compile the program and build the file and show me the result. This is a result of this program. The all information and the data that you can extract from the Europe track simulation is shown here. This is the information that we can get it from Europe track simulation and show it on the Real Dashboard or on our Arduino. For example, you can see about the fuel rate, you can see about the gear forward, gear reverse, oil pressures, jobs that we have, what kind of the cities, what is the destination, light, and everything that we need. This is an example, and this is all information that we can extract from the ETS. So, for extracting from the ETS, we need to create the one DLL file and add it in to our Europe track simulation. For that one, what we need to have a compiled two files. First of all, the SDK that we downloaded from the SCS website on the wiki website. This is a file, it depends on your version of your Europe track simulator. And the second file that we need is inside this folder that we downloaded from the Silas Parker. If I'm going inside this folder, you will see we have one folder they call it original source. Then inside the source, we have a build file. This is a build file that already Silas Parker compiled. For the some version, if you copy this DLL and paste it to your track simulator, maybe they are working. But based on my experience, it showed that in the most of the version of the Europe track simulation, especially the new versions, these DLL files are not working. Why? Because they are compiled with the old version of the SDK. I am going to copy this file from here to my Europe track simulator. My Europe track simulator is on the C game Europe track simulator bin Win64, and I have one folder, they call it plugins. If you don't have this folder, you can create this folder for yourself. These my files, I am going to delete them because I want to show that how after compiling this file, the new file going to create. Second file I need again is inside the build file. This is the original source. I am going inside the source, ETS plugin source, and I am going to copy this text file, dash plugin text file, and returning back to my plugin folders. Paste it here. I right click on the batch file and press the edit. Is going to open the batch file on Notepad. In the Notepad, we need to change some of these paths because it depends which folder is your game and what is the path of the downloaded file. You need to change them. First one is about your SDK that you downloaded. My SDK that I download is inside the ETS2 and SDK and include. Why? Because the path of the previous SDK is exactly same as this. So I am going to copy this path and I paste it here. Second path that we need to change is that our game path. This is a game path for the Silas bucket. Is going install. Actually, it was installed in the Steam. For me, my game path is exactly the one is here. I'm going to copy it and paste it here. And the third path that we are going to change it is a source path. This source path is come from the Silas Parker. Some of the file for the compiling this SCS SDK file is in here. Silas Parker already wrote the program. So I am going to ETS2 in the Silas Parker file, original, in the source ETS plugin, because for the compiling the SDK we need some of the file here. I'm going to copy and paste it here. The rest of the configuration I'm not touching because they are the commands and for the Visual Studio. And the output file is a dash underwrite plugin DLL. This is the most important file for us. Later we need that one, that we keep it inside our plugins. So I save this file and close it. For running this file, we need to run the .bat file. Normally, when the people see the .bat file, they are going to run it in the Windows command line. But this is a Visual Studio C# bat file, then you cannot run it in the normal CMD file. So you have to run the command line from your Visual Studio, run as administrator, and then you have to run it from here. Sometimes you can drag and drop it, but sometimes it's not working based on your luck. Let's see, it's working right now. No, unfortunately now it is not working. So I am going to copy. I write a CD, then followed by the path. Then I want to write this file. Then I write a build, then I press the tab. When I press the enter, it's going to run our batch file, is going to call the all necessary files and compile it. And then if the compiling is successful, it's going to create my file here, as you see. Then without any error, then I press any key. When I come here, you will see now I have a DLL file. This is already we copied, and the rest of the file is necessary for running this file. So in the next step, we need to close this terminal. Now the configuration of the Europe track simulation is already finished because we have a DLL file that is very important for us. One thing before we go to the Arduino, the dash.plugin.text that I already copied here, I double click on that one. The most important part in here is a COM port strcomp. This is a port that we are going to connect our Arduino to our PC. Later I show you that it is very important. So now we are going to the next step, which means that configure our Arduino. For programming the Arduino, we install Arduino IDE on our computer. For programming, again, I am going to the file that I downloaded. Again, I'm going to ETS Dashboard Master V6, ETS Dashboard. This time I'm going to ATS cluster. Then I'm going to ATS cluster and open the INO file. When I double click it, it's going to automatically open the Arduino IDE. This is a program already written with the Silas Parker and one of the guy on the internet. As you see, this is a program written on the C, and it has some information inside. In the next tutorial, we are going to talk about some of these parameters, but for the starting, just we need to know some of the information on these codes. As you see here, we have some variables that they are defined with the constant integer. For example, left indicator that show it with the A2. These A0, A1, A2, A3, and A4, they are the pins on Arduino Uno or Arduino Mega. Doesn't matter which version of the Arduino or which type of the Arduino you are going to use, you can compile it and you can use it. For this tutorial, I am going to show you left indicator, which means that when we press button on the game and the left indicator start to on and off, our Arduino also start to blinking. For wiring part for the Arduino, I already designed the schematic. It's very simple schematic. This is Arduino Uno that I'm going to use. I use the one LED. I use of the resistor. A2 pin, I use it and connect it to the LED, and from the LED then I connect it to the ground, which means that when the game start to send the command to A2 pin, this LED going to on and off. The resistor is depend on what is your voltage and what type of the LED you are using can be different. For me is 220 ohm. So I am going to program my Arduino, then I'm going to make the cabling and test it. For the programming, I connect my Arduino with a USB cable to my PC. Then I have to check that my Arduino IDE detected or not. As you see, the port COM3 is it for my Arduino and already detected. And the board that detected by the PC is the Arduino Uno, which means correct board. So I am going just send this code to my Arduino with this arrow key. Before I run ETS, I need to do some changes. First of all, I am going to my Europe Track Simulator on my C, in the bin file, Win64, in the plugins, --plugin.txt, double click. This is a port that the Arduino is connected to your computer. For me, this is a COM port 3. How I know? I just go into my device manager. In the device manager, you will see the Arduino Uno is on COM port 3. For you, maybe it's a different port. Then you have to add it and change it here. I just save it. Second change, I am going to Documents to the Europe Track Simulator 2. I am going to click on the game.log.txt. I am open this file and press the Ctrl A and delete it. This is a log file from the Europe Track Simulator. During the running of our DLL file, if any error is happening, you can find it here to understand that what is the error and you are going to solve it. I just close it, I say save. Now, if I run the Europe Track Simulator, if everything is okay, it must show me the warning about the SDK. As you see, there is a confirmation for running the SDK, means that the ETS2 correctly detect my SDK. I just press the OK. Then I'm going inside the game and show you how it's working with my Arduino. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. See you on next video. Thanks.